Hi, welcome to Be Happy, Feel Great. I have a very special show today. My guest came all the way from Connecticut. She took the Port Jeff ferry, drove all the way out here to beautiful East Hampton, and Jennifer Rosenwald is a personal and business coach. She was a former 500 managing director. She's a best-selling author, a trainer, and a professional speaker. And I am just so honored that she took that ride today to come all the way out here. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today on Be Happy, Feel Great.
Thank you, Michael. This is great fun already.
You must be tired after driving.
After swimming across the Long Island Sound.
The whole thing, you know. I heard the ferry was
packed.
A nice ride, though, today.
It was beautiful, but a lot of people take it. I wonder if it's a commute. But anyway, it was great. Commute from Connecticut to Long Island and back. That's incredible.
You wear a lot of hats, though. Did I cover everything in the introduction?
I think you did, right. My 103 years in corporate America, my coaching, my tap dancing, and you got it all.
Okay. I know there was a lot more in your bio, but you're very talented and very good.
Thank you.
You know, there's a lot of people that really aren't that familiar with coaching. They think of coaching, they think of, oh yeah, I used to play lacrosse in high school and things like that. But today, it's like just so important, and a lot of people need somebody else to listen to them. And I thought maybe you could just tell us a little bit about coaching in general.
Well, I'm going to play off just exactly what you said, that people do need someone to listen to them and be objective and to really listen. You know, we have friends, we have family, but everybody's got all their own stuff on their mind.
Oh, crazy. Everybody is so busy, the hectic lifestyle that we have today.
Exactly. So, I spin a lot of plates, you spin a lot of plates, and these are the people that we both work with as coaches. So a coach is in your corner, but not just to tell you everything's going great, just to listen, to be objective. And what I do with people is that I help them optimize what is working. Like a lot of senior executives, all of them have coaches. So we look at it like working on your golf swing, just to make sure you're tuned up, you're doing the best that you can. I work with people in transitions between one business field, career, job to another, or a personal transition.
A lot of personal transitions.
A lot of personal transitions.
Sure, yeah.
In and out of relationships, moving, parents, children, teenagers, this kind of thing, transitions. And then I work with people to help them untangle. So I listen, and then with my training, both in business and in psychology and in coaching, I help them be the best. What I like to say is I help people transform the way they live their lives for the better.
Sure. Now, you talk about, you use that expression a lot, untangle.
I do.
Okay, and I kind of like, people get stuck at times and unstuck.
Unstuck is exactly the same thing.
It's the same thing, really, that they're doing.
Move forward. I mean, we are a plowing ahead, moving
really fast. And that's the
society.
bottom line. You want to move forward,
Always.
Okay, with your goals, your dreams, your objectives.
Right.
And you're the person, and there's coaches out there, but I understand you're what we call an extraordinary coach.
Who told you that? My mother?
No, that's out in the field. We specialize on certain guests. We do our own screening before we have people on, and you really you work with your clients, and like you said, you work personal, and also you're a business coach.
Yes.
Now, I actually. Eric Schmidt, CEO of Google, he has a very famous quote, and it's actually on YouTube where he talks about it. Everybody needs a coach.
Everybody needs a coach.
And here's a guy like at the top making the big bucks, and he still hires his own personal coach or business coach to help him, like you said, listen, and work on his goals and objectively listen and be able to work with him.
Because the minute you think you know everything, the minute you think you're on top in business or you get complacent, you're not moving forward. You need to keep learning. You need to check yourself. You want to make sure sometimes that you are doing sometimes I say to people, this is fine, you're doing great. You know what I mean? And sometimes I say in a business sense or personal, like, okay, well, that didn't work out so well for you, so let's retrench. But in other words, everybody needs a coach because we are support, but we are brain power, and it's not, here's what I would do. You know, a lot of people say, well, here's what I would do. That's giving advice.
Right.
Coaching is, here's what you're saying is important to you. Here's what you're telling me has worked or not worked in the past. Here's what you're saying where you want to go. Let's map it. So,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes
So
it's drop and give me 10. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, sometimes I shoulder shake a little, you know,
Yeah,
because.
yeah. No, you said, I like the way you said it. You're mapping it. It's a blueprint for where they're going,
Right.
you know? And you're helping them, but they're telling you what they know, but they need somebody to bring it out.
Right.
And you're that person. You could bring it out and help them. And when you're coaching, let's say personal coaching, how often do you usually talk or meet with a client?
That really varies. Most of my clients talk with me weekly. Sometimes if they're feeling especially tangled, or there's a really intense transition, or a big presentation, or some drama at home, it will be more often. But it's usually once a week. Some clients are once every 2 weeks, kind of thing. Some of them come back after years. They feel great, they go away, then they come back, sort of for a tune-up, pit stop.
Yeah, that's
So it
something.
really varies.
I think that's something important for our watchers to understand is that if you hire a coach like Jen, it's, you know, sometimes after 6 months you might feel good. You might have gotten what you're looking to get at. It's like a custom way of working with somebody, and we all know the importance of personal trainers and
Right.
athletics.
Right.
How that, you know, you never heard of that 20 years ago, and you know now people want a personal trainer, people want a personal coach. They really understand, as you said before, that life is complicated. Many times your spouse, your best friend, your relatives, they don't want to hear about it. They're too busy. And if they do, they're giving you advice. But it's not, people don't want advice. They want you to listen and then hear what they're saying.
Exactly.
In such a way that you're really telling them this is what you just said, and they're giving you their direction for this map that you're working on with them.
True. And every once in a while, I'll make a suggestion. Some coaches are really silent and they help you come to your own conclusions. It's more like therapy. A consultant will say, I'm the expert, here's what I think you should do. And to me, I coach somewhere in between where I don't want to wrestle somebody into my way of thinking kind of thing. But sometimes I'll say, well, we've tried that 3 times and it didn't really work
Didn't
out.
work, yeah.
Or I'll make a suggestion. I do make suggestions and they'll say, no, I don't want to do that. But you know what? I now know what I do want to do. So sometimes I throw up the dartboard and they, you know, they know what dart they want to throw anyway.
Well, that's really great. Now, we have a very creative show, you know, the title of the show you came up with.
Yes.
Okay, happiness first, success follows. And I loved it.
Thank
when,
you.
When we were talking a little bit, that's the name of the show. Can you, in your words, define what you mean by that to
Certainly.
everybody?
Certainly. Happiness first, success follows really works off of my social scientist hero, Sean Aker, who is a very popular professor at Harvard, who teaches this, and it was Harvard's most popular course forever, still is. So you need to feel good first in order to achieve maximum success. And we really often think that once we achieve success, whatever we deem as success, then we'll be happy. And studies show, and I'm not going to quote everything, but I've got all kinds of resources for your listeners and stuff like that, that when you achieve happiness, or how I define it as peace of mind, contentment, you're more open to learning, your perspective is clear, you're not angry, you're not blaming, you're not vying for, you know, your ego isn't running the show, you have better relationships. We need relationships at home and at work to be working well. So feel good first. Do what, and it's the purpose of life too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Become contented, have peace of mind, be happy. Success follows more readily than it does, and it really doesn't, is what studies are showing. You achieve success, the goalpost moves. You make your quota changes. So once you
true.
achieve a
Yeah,
success,
yeah.
you get the car, you want a new car, kind of thing.
Absolutely. It's like, you, it's that anticipation, I think, of it sometimes that feels better from materialistic things.
Well, the anticipation drives us. When we achieve it, we're no longer striving, and as humans, we like and need and should be
So
striving.
you have to replace it, so you move in the goalposts,
So you're
as
not
you
happy.
say.
So you're not happy.
Right,
So there's an interesting psychological whole conversation about that, which we won't get into, about why the brain does that, gets used to things, which makes us want a new thing. Or in business, again, you have success, they say, do it 2 more times,
Right.
in
Put
less
more
time.
pressure on you.
Right. So happiness leads more to success than success leads to happiness.
And there was a quote that you had liked that we were talking about and everything. Can we get the quote up there?
The Antonio Damasio quote.
Yeah, we had
Is
a
that the
quote
one?
that we're gonna, yeah. We are not thinking machines that feel,
We are feeling machines that think.
okay, there it is.
I wanted you to start it off because sometimes I flip it. We are not thinking machines that feel as a result of our thoughts. We are really, and people will argue that it's cyclical, but we are feeling machines. We register what's going on around us in our environments, and we will have certain tendencies to, if somebody's speeding along next to us, to be all, "Rrr," or to think, oh, they must need to go someplace quickly. So in other words, we are feeling machines that think then about how we feel. So this is a little esoteric, but the bottom line point that helps people, that can help the viewers, is do everything that you can to feel good without hurting anybody. Do everything that you can to feel good, and then your thoughts will follow. Now, what we do as coaches and as authors is we write, speak, and that gets people's minds thinking, but it's cyclical. So in other words, if you think about how you feel and you decide that you believe me, that if I feel good, I'll have more success and better relationships, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it becomes a little cyclical, but the point, this neuroscientist from UCLA, Antonio Damasio, we are feeling machines. We register as animals, and then we think that the world just goes that way. But if you recalibrate yourself to feel good, you'll have better thoughts, you'll have more creative thoughts. There's a lot of science that says we cannot create when we're angry.
Oh, it's, when you feel good, and everybody goes through their different periods, some days you could wake up and you feel good and you feel like you could just conquer the world that day, everything flows and you're in a good mood and you're productive.
And you believe,
yeah, and
gumption.
you have to look back and you say, wow, why is things working today where they didn't yesterday? Well, yesterday you weren't in a good mood, you weren't feeling good, you had an argument the day before that you were carrying over.
And you didn't know how to break yourself out of it. That's what we teach.
Yep.
And how to break out of that, what I call a snark loop.
And you're not living in the moment. So you're carrying
Yes.
that with you.
Yes.
And you're worrying about the
Worrying.
future, So all of a sudden, you're not feeling good.
Right.
You have a lot on your plate, and before you know it, you're blaming people for, this is why you're not feeling good, instead of taking your own personal responsibility.
Right.
Right?
And as soon as you blame somebody else, you've given it away. Mm-hmm. And what you need to do is feel good. And we don't always feel good. There's real loss. There are setbacks. People will be rude. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like we fall off the happiness perch once we do get to feeling good and get happy all the time. Stomach aches, somebody lets you down or whatever. What you need to do is prioritize feeling good so that you break the snark loop. You get off the hamster wheel of worry, as I have these kitschy phrases, But exactly, you need to get back in the moment and say, I want to feel better because that will benefit me. That doesn't just feel good to feel good. It benefits. And you can be more creative. You can do better work. You can have better relationships. You can plan and go forward.
All aspects of your life. And if you could have that more often feeling good than not feeling good, then you have success.
It's true. It leads to
It leads
success.
to
It
success.
feels like success.
Yep.
And what you said about taking responsibility and what I said about not taking responsibility really gives it away. People think taking responsibility sounds so onerous and heavy, but it's really freeing because then we're driving the bus. You know what I mean? So in other words,
yeah,
you own every, like I say, every puddle you're standing in, you've pretty much walked right into yourself. So in other words, you've got to own it and then be solutions oriented. And you can't be creative and solutions oriented if you're blaming, if you're feeling just terrible. I mean, sometimes just take a day and say, I'm not in a great place, but prioritize feeling good, knowing that not only does it feel good, to be happy, but it's beneficial in so many ways.
Absolutely.
Your health, your business, your relationships, absolutely health.
And all that, and your financial comes into place, and
yeah.
the
Right.
a little
It
bit
capitulates.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, going along with it, and I really enjoyed reading the chapter in your book.
Thank you.
And you're now a best-selling author. I know now it's an
yes.
it would say on it, and we actually have it on the screen, #1 international bestseller, The Expert Success Solution. You're a co-author. You wrote it with some really big names in the business, Rick Frischman and Wendy Lippman Dibner.
Yep.
And I, first of all, want to say that it's available for our viewers, right? They could
My
read
chapter I'll give for free.
your chapter you're going to give out for free. So
Yeah,
how would they get that?
On my website, jenniferrosenwald.com, jenniferrosenwald.com. I will give you the chapter in my book because I just want everybody to feel good. It gives you the how-to, like your book, we both give a step-by-step easy formula, and it's pretty easy. That's
It
the
is.
nice
It
thing.
is. That's what I liked about it. It was. I actually.
And yours too. It's easy stuff. It's just sometimes we rather have our dukes up than do the easy steps.
And that's what turns me off with some books is that they just get too deep into stuff. And I think that if it could be a simple read for people, they'll be able to get something out of it, and they'll be able to put it into their life. It's practical information for them.
Exactly, because you have to get thinking. Reading is thinking, but it conjures up feelings. And what were we saying? Antonio Damasi's, we are feeling machines, so we've got to get it into practice. It's fun, easy stuff. It's instantly rewarding. And then once you begin to feel better more often and you're happier, your body and your mind says, this is a better place to be, so then it sort of takes off. You gain momentum. So it is easy. So my own book, which I'm writing, will have a big chapter at the end. If people don't want to know anything about why we tend not to feel good, some people have asked me, this is one of the questions I get most. Why? Why don't I stay happy? Why can't I stay happy? And I say, you mean other than the rude people and the crowded highways and whatever? But so there's a whole science behind it that I'll put in, but you can certainly skip over in my book that'll come out in 2015, my own book, and get to the end. What works? That's what I call the final chapter, or what will work, what works.
Right,
and it's
right.
simple stuff. So in the meantime, there's a short, this is the sort of the condensed version of my whole practice and message. And your viewers can get at jenniferrosenwald.com.
Well, that's great. So you just have
For
to
free.
enter your little
your
bit of
email.
information. And
Just
it would
email and it comes. I'm not even collecting.
Okay, look at that. Just give your email.
Market
You could
information.
get it. You could read more about Jennifer. A lot of stuff that we really don't have time on our shows. I read it 3 times already, just prepping myself for having a guest the caliber of Jennifer here today.
Well, I read your book twice, too, so
Oh,
here we have
okay.
Mutual Admiration Society going on.
We actually met, my book, as most of the viewers know, my first book was no, my second one is, first one was Nothing Good Comes From a But. And we met at one of the trade shows in the business in Connecticut over a year ago. And it was mostly authors and speakers that were there. And we realized we had so much in common. And it's always nice to have like-minded people on a show, because on Be Happy, Feel Great, I'm not looking to have debates or argue with people or anything like that. I like to have people that we could agree and share our information to the viewers to help them.
Yeah, I don't think we have any controversial, conflicting, we just agree with each other.
We agreed, and a lot of stuff that we were doing. And it took us a while to get you over here.
Sorry.
We've been trying, but now it's a little bit further to come than some guests. You know, you got that big Long Island Sound between
Oh, it
us.
was a host of others. Yes, life gets in the way sometimes.
That's right. That's right. But anyway, being a best-selling author and writing your own book, you know, and it was great to do it with other people, to collaborate like that, and a lot of fun. And I'm sure you learn from each person along the way too.
This is really a collaboration. It isn't just a collection of disparate people's everybody's got a different vantage point and helps people in different ways. But we really came together and spent a lot of time, and then 4 days, morning till night, working with each other to help each other hone the message that helps. Everyone at the conference too, we all are helpers, but some people will do therapy through horses or something, and some people work with parents who've sort of lost touch with their children or what have you. But anyway, we worked and really honed each other's messages so that our impact is as strong and positive as it could be. And that was tremendous. That was really as helpful to me in my business and what I do in order to help people as having it come out and be, have the flurry of, getting to #1 and, do well on Amazon and here and in Canada and several categories. It was the meat. So it's a very helpful book on a bunch of different topics. But
And if anybody wants the whole book, I'm sure they could buy it online, and they'll, expert success solution.
Right.
And this came out recently, right?
Well, last fall. The end of last fall,
Last fall.
almost a year ago, but not.
Wow, time goes fast.
Oh, time goes so fast.
It does, yeah.
Which is part of why we do what we do. Life is short. Not to be scary about it, but.
No, you have to enjoy each day and every moment of the day. You can't waste time, and
Just get over it and get on with it. And I have an elderly friend. She used to work for me, and she says, "My dear," we've all heard this, "My dear, this is no dress rehearsal." So, that's the thing. This is it. This is the show.
This is it.
Might as well make it a good show.
That's right. That's right. You're very busy. You write, you coach, you speak, you train. You wear a lot of different hats. Just how do you find time to do it all? How do you do it?
I have a lot of little alarms that go off. I do.
What drives you?
People know me. I schedule, but that's what I was going to say. Really, is what I end up doing. I mean, we all have this where there's so much I didn't get done. Follows you from day to day. I move it from yesterday's calendar to today's calendar.
Yeah.
But what drives me is my belief in that this is one life, and we have to make the most of it. And then my business, but my own personal passion, my mantra, because I've had some lows myself, and have come back, and then I've studied, and I'm certified, and I've seen it work with in my corporate career too. What drives me is that people not get to the end of their lives, have a V8 commercial bonk to the head and say, "I forgot to be happy. I wore all those hats. I spun all those plates.
Right.
I never got around to being happy. I didn't even enjoy it. I was just busy."
So true.
So I am busy,
Yeah.
but I'm
You're enjoying it.
I got the message, you know what I mean? I sort of, I want to say drank the Kool-Aid, but it's not as weird as, in other words, I believe, and I know it, and I know the health benefits, and I know the psychological benefits, and I know the work, the corporate or whatever business the business benefits of happiness first, success follows. And I also personally believe, don't get to the end of the road and say, you know, now I have time for a vacation. It's the end of the road. I forgot to be happy.
Well, it's like Wayne Dyer always said, don't die with the music in you.
Still in you.
And it kind of goes along with what you're saying. In fact, his daughter, I believe, recently wrote a book using that title. I haven't read it yet, but very interesting. You know, and I think we all know people that they think success is money, making the big salary, you know, so they go to work, they put in the 60, 70, 75 hours a week.
Where we live, it's 60, these people, yeah.
And they have the beautiful house with the fancy cars in the driveway, and the family is home, and they have the nanny or somebody helping raise the kids. And they send the kids off to camp when they're off in school, and they don't know what it's like to have dinner.
Oh,
and,
right.
you know, but as we wrap up, you know, that's not happiness, you know, it's
No, the
what is?
stuff. It's not the stuff. And don't just take my word for it. The cool thing is there's more and more social science behind all this and neuroscience behind all this. Stuff, for a very short while, will make you happy. Experiences. So that's what I would say. Buy experiences. Don't buy stuff. Sure, get the car you always wanted, whatever. But buy experiences, not stuff. It's been proven
and
it will make you happier for longer to have experiences than it will to have stuff.
Enjoy the family, okay? Enjoy each other.
Enjoy the ride, enjoy the day.
Your free time, and remember that life is short.
Happiness first.
Happiness first, success follows.
It does.
Okay, thank you very much.
This was fun. Nice to talk with you as always, Michael.
Oh, what a great show.
Thank you.
you.
Great.